Namaskar. I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive online training on Innovate and Lead School Transformation Strategies for School Leaders. You are watching us live on PME Vidya channel 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. जी हाँ, ये 8 days का एक ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम है जिसका एक कोर्स भी होगा दीक्षा पर और ये जो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम है हम इसे ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं of course CIET NCERT and with collaboration Google for Education. So ये दो partners हैं इसमें और ये जो training program है this is particularly meant for the school heads of the country. And today we are in day 1 of this training session जहाँ पर हमने एक बहुत ही important topic लिया है that is digital leadership school transformation strategies. How Google for Education is an important tool and it is helping in managing the activities and how school leaders can take the benefit of the same. इस सेशन में हम ये सब सीखेंगे. It's an 8-day online program, though meant specifically for school heads, but it is open for all. Teachers, teacher educators, students, general public, you all can participate in this. हम आपको बता दें कि हमारी CIET वेबसाइट पर इस कोर्स, इस ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम से रिलेटेड सारी गाइडलाइंस हैं. Please feel free to visit this website. Also, on the last day of the training session, there is going to be an assessment. We also request you to kindly visit our social media handles, जहां पर हम आपको continuously update करते रहेंगे about the forthcoming sessions और साथ ही साथ ये भी बताते रहेंगे कि कब assessment courses को release किया जाएगा. We want you to pay attention to all the sessions very carefully. साथ ही साथ, if you wish to participate, please feel free to get in touch with us. You can give us a call. The phone number is 8800440559. Our email ID is diksha.training@ciet.nic.in. इसके अलावा हमारे YouTube handle NCERT Official के live chat box में भी आप अपनी questions, suggestions और feedback हमें भेज सकते हैं. Since it's a training program and as I have already mentioned, there is going to be an assessment. तो अगर आप उस assessment में 70% से ज़्यादा marks score करते हैं, you will get a certificate that you can download from Diksha portal. Again, for the guidelines, please feel free to visit the website. और अब I must introduce you all to all the panelists who will talk about this wonderful training program that we have initiated and also what are we going to cover in day 1's session. So please join me in welcoming Professor Indu Kumar. She is head of Department of ICT and Training Division and she is also National Coordinator of Diksha from CIET NCERT New Delhi. Namaskar and very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Namaskar. Thank you.
We are also joined by Ms. Sonia Mehra Agarwal. Ma'am is ETU Impact Lead from Google for Education India. Ma'am, namaskar and very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
And last but not the least, we are also joined by Mr. Bhalla. Sir is Partnerships Manager, Workspace and ChromeOS, Google for Education India. Namaskar, sir. Very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much.
और इस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चन सिंस एनसीईआरटी एंड गूगल फॉर एजुकेशन दोनों कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं तो जाहिर सी बात इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू लर्न फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि कैसे मासेस के लिए और स्टेक होल्डर्स के लिए इस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम का बेनिफिट और कैसे ये एनईपी 2020 के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के साथ भी अलाइन करती है. सो आई विल स्टार्ट विद प्रोफेसर इंदु और सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन मैम मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगी. आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू दैट हाउ वुड यू कंसेप्चुअलाइज डायरेक्शन फॉर डिजिटल एजुकेशन एंड इट्स इनिशिएटिव at school education because हम सब जानते हैं considering India's population, diverse learning styles, हमारा youth और regional disparities और जो हमारा digital divide है उसको देखते हुए how do you think that school leaders should prioritize and leverage digital education? Ma'am.
Yeah, it's a very valid question. And as far as the digital leadership is concerned, currently we are into the implementation of NEP 2020 and there are 2 dedicated chapters in NEP 2020 which talks about digital education and technology mediated education. So these chapters are chapter 22 and chapter 23 in the NEP 2020. So there are a lot of recommendations which have been made in NEP 2020 to realize the digital education. Until and unless our leaders are prepared to implement digital education, we cannot actualize this dream to have digital technology in place in the school wherever it is required. So in NEP 2020, we talk about, and before that, I would like to mention which you have rightly mentioned
Hmm.
the educational scenario in India.
Hmm.
India is a vast country, it's a multilingual country and diverse country.
Hmm.
So we can see the population in India, it is 1.4 plus billion.
Right.
So we have to deal with huge population.
Hmm.
We have 1.5 million school in our educational system, 9.8 million teachers, 260 million school students, and 15,000 teacher education
Hmm.
institutions. And diversity is one of the characteristic feature of Indian society. So without a digital education in place, we won't be able to reach to these many population, these many children, these
Hmm.
many teachers for their continuous professional development. And for that, school leaders should be open to adopting technology in the school system, so that we can have coverage of anything new which happens, because education is dynamic, it's not
Yeah.
static. Every day things keep changing. We have to come up with new things. And as far as technology is concerned, technology is ever evolving. Every day we get to know about newer and newer technologies. Until and unless we are open to adopting these technology for the larger good of schools, teacher education institutions, teachers and students, we won't be able to reach out to this large population in our
Hmm.
country. And as far as key recommendations of NEP are concerned,
Right.
so NEP talks about the having digital repositories in place, so
Hmm.
that we can reach out to children with this repository, having curriculum aligned content for students, teachers, parents, and other stakeholders of
Ji.
education. So we for this purpose we already have Diksha in place, which is a content management repository, and also we are coming up with a new LMS on Diksha for personalized adaptive learning
Hmm.
for students. It also talks about blended learning approaches to be adopted, because
Ji.
when we talk about technology, we are not doing away with the face to face interaction. So
Hmm.
we need to adopt the blended approach, so that larger educational goals can be achieved by this blended approach, and we also save time of learning, because if we have something online and some aspect of delivering and imparting education offline, then we can quickly achieve larger learning outcomes, and we can just capitalize on the learning which happens in school in the face to face mode.
Ji.
So this is another aspect. Then ICT enabled pedagogy, so it also talks about, and for this purpose also we need to train all our teachers and school heads
Hmm.
in adopting digital pedagogy, because we have learned pedagogy when we did our teacher courses when
Yeah.
we were in pre-service teacher education, but these pedagogies also keeps evolving as the scenario evolves. So now that the technology is there in place, so we need to uh, be trained and be abreast with the digital pedagogies as well, and it is highlighted in NEP 2020.
Hmm.
It also talks about other areas of school education like skill courses, multilingual learning, content for children with special needs, and e-museum, establishment of e-museum, etc., which is very important for an engaging and vibrant learning environment. So
Ji.
that is also highlighted in NEP 2020. It
That
also
is lovely.
talks about data driven decision
Hmm.
making, because data is the fuel for any upgradation of in the system, or having targeted intervention. If we can just speculate what are the problems of education if we don't have right data to develop upon. So now there is Rashtriya Vidya Samiksha Kendra is in place for the implementation of this particular recommendation of NEP 2020, and there are Vidya Samiksha Kendra across country also in all the different states and union territories and central autonomous bodies. So we need to have data driven decision makings. For that purpose, data need to be integrated, gathered from all over the country, and need to be integrated centrally so that we understand the real problems of education and address them in a pointed manner. And this also need to be understood by the school leaders for sharing the data with the school system, so that about school system, so that data is triangulated and right pointed areas of interventions are identified by the policymakers, by the institutions like NCERT and other such institutions. Then NEP also talks about addressing digital divide. It's not an Indian phenomena. Digital divide is a global phenomena, but when it comes to India, it has a different, unique dimensions, because India is geographically also India is diverse. So Indian problems are unique than the problems that exist in the world. So in geographically difficult areas, it is very difficult to for internet to reach. So this is the unique problem because of the geographical location of a particular area. So linguistic diversity is also there, which also creates a digital divide, because mostly contents are available in English. So there are 22 languages which are listed in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. So we should have content in at least 22 languages plus 23rd being English. So this is also a recommendation of NEP 2020 that we need to have the content, multilingual content on the repositories. Then we also need to lay down standards for everything. We talk about quality digital content, quality teacher education, quality professional development programs. So until and unless we lay down standard what a quality content should look like, so we cannot just keep talking about is about quality. So we need to set standards about quality. So we can see that how NEP 2020 has seen the importance of digital education in totality, and a holistic view of improving or enhancing the quality of education has been given in NEP 2020.
That's right, ma'am. Thank you so much for elaborating your answer. You not only talked about how school leaders should prioritize digital education, but you also talked about how they should do it in alignment with the NEP 2020 objectives. And we all know that when it comes to administration, other activities, it is the responsibility of the school leaders, and they have to take the accountability for the teachers' professional development, for implementing new tools and strategies. Now, ma'am, हमारे भी कई educational initiatives होते हैं यहाँ CIT NCERT में. To begin with, we have diksha and PME Vidya. आपने digital divide की बात करी, language की बात करी. So, how do you think that platforms like these they ensure equitable access to quality education? Because हम यहाँ पे equality की नहीं equity की भी बात करते हैं. We have to bring everybody on the same page. Also, we're talking about blending learning, and we have to serve the purpose of inclusivity.
Yeah.
जी.
Yes. So multi-mode delivery of education for equitable access बहुत जरूरी है. क्योंकि जैसा कि हमने कहा कि इंडिया में डिजिटल डिवाइड के अलग डायमेंशन है. कहीं पर इंटरनेट नहीं पहुंचता है, कहीं पर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डिफरेंट है. तो हर घर में, हर हाउस होल्ड में, हर स्कूल में, हर जगह पर जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की अवेलेबिलिटी है, इंटरनेट का पेनिट्रेशन है, वो अलग अलग है. तो उस हिसाब से हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि किस तरह से हम इक्विटी लेकर आए कि हर बच्चा, चाहे वो ज्योग्राफिकली डिफिकल्ट एरिया में रह रहा है, उसकी भाषा कुछ और है, वो उसको एक्सेस हो रिसोर्सेज का या डिजिटल कंटेंट का या एक अच्छी टीचिंग लर्निंग स्ट्रैटेजीज विच मेनली डिपेंड अपॉन लीडरशिप। तो इसके लिए जो प्रोविजन है मल्टी मोड डिलीवरी ऑफ एजुकेशन, और एनसीईआरटी ने ये इनिशिएटिव लिया है कि हम हर अवेलेबल टेक्नोलॉजी को हार्नेस कर रहे हैं। जैसे कि हम डीटीएच चैनल्स के थ्रू भी इम्पार्ट कर रहे हैं एजुकेशन। हो सकता है किसी बच्चे के पास टेलीविजन है बट इंटरनेट नहीं है, तो टेलीविजन के माध्यम से वो अपनी कक्षा के जो विषय हैं जो उसकी कक्षा में पढ़ाए जाते हैं या जो टॉपिक हैं उनको टेलीविजन के माध्यम से समझ सकता है। रेडियो एक अलग माध्यम है जिससे कि एजुकेशनल कंटेंट की डिलीवरी करने का प्रोविजन हमारे देश में है। इसके अलावा दीक्षा जैसी कंटेंट रिपोजिटरीज भी हैं जिसका कंटेंट हम ऑफलाइन भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। रिपोजिटरी को एक्सेस करने के लिए तो इंटरनेट चाहिए, लेकिन सारा कंटेंट फ्रीली डाउनलोडेबल है दीक्षा पे, तो बच्चे फ्रीली डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, टीचर्स फ्रीली डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, और डाउनलोड करने के बाद वो उस कंटेंट को ऑफलाइन एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, अपने लर्निंग प्लान के साथ इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं, या बच्चा उन कंटेंट से सीख सकता है। तो इस तरह से इक्विटी बिल्ड करने के लिए हर तरह के बच्चे को, हर तरह के एरिया में रहने वाले बच्चे को, हर भाषा से संबंधित बच्चे को विशेष सपोर्ट दिया जा रहा है। साथ ही इस पर स्पेशल वर्टिकल है दीक्षा पे जिसमें चिल्ड्रन विद स्पेशल नीड्स के लिए भी कंटेंट है ताकि वो बच्चे भी पीछे ना रहे। ऑडियो बुक्स भी हैं, और अभी जो प्रयास चल रहा है उसमें कम से कम 22 भारतीय भाषाओं में और प्लस इंग्लिश में हमारी किताबें दीक्षा पर उपलब्ध रहेंगी। और ये कार्य शुरू हो चुका है। हम मल्टीपल लैंग्वेजेस में कंटेंट रख रहे हैं। खास करके फाउंडेशनल स्टेज के लिए 127 भाषाओं में प्राइमर उपलब्ध है। हालांकि वो भी कम है क्योंकि हमारे देश में 1500 से ऊपर भाषाएं और बोलियां बोली जाती हैं, लेकिन जो स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेजेस हैं जिसमें बच्चे सीखते हैं, सीखने सिखाने की प्रक्रिया चलती है, तो ये शुरुआत हो चुकी है इक्विटेबल एक्सेस के लिए। और ये टेक्नोलॉजी से ही संभव हो सकता है, बिल्कुल, क्योंकि मैनुअल ट्रांसलेशंस के लिए हम एआई टूल्स का भी प्रयोग करते हैं। तो एक कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ मैनुअल प्लस एआई टूल्स का ट्रांसलेशन से क्वालिटी कंटेंट बनाने का प्रयास चल रहा है।
मैम बिल्कुल आपने ठीक कहा, क्योंकि लास्ट माइल लर्नर तक पहुंचना है और ये टेक्नोलॉजी से ही संभव है। और टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करें तो बहुत ब्रीफली आपसे लास्ट क्वेश्चन पूछूंगी कि एआई की आज हम बात कर रहे हैं, एआर वीआर की हम बात कर रहे हैं, लर्निंग आउटकम्स को एनहांस करने के लिए और एनईपी 2020 के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के साथ अलाइन करने के लिए कैसे हम इन टेक्नोलॉजीज को यूज कर सकते हैं? जी
हाँ, ये बहुत ही रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि आजकल हम सभी एआई के बारे में बहुत बात करते हैं, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के बारे में, एआर वीआर एक्सआर मिक्स्ड टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में। तो इन कंटेंट का हमें रेलेवेंस समझना बहुत जरूरी है एजुकेशन में। AR VR should not be used for the sake of using AR VR content. For that we need to analyze the content. जहां AR VR सूटेबल है वहीं हमें AR VR कंटेंट का डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए और AR VR कंटेंट को इंटीग्रेट करना चाहिए लर्निंग प्लान के साथ। बेसिकली AR VR कंटेंट की आवश्यकता वहां होती है जहां हमें 3D विजुअलाइजेशन की आवश्यकता होती है कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स को समझने के लिए, जैसे कि पृथ्वी गोल है, ब्रह्मांड है, जिसका एक पार्ट पृथ्वी भी है, सोलर सिस्टम है। इन चीजों को क्योंकि ये बहुत एब्स्ट्रैक्ट कॉन्सेप्ट है, बच्चों को ग्रहण करना बौद्धिक रूप से बहुत मुश्किल होता है। तो ऐसे में हमें AR VR कंटेंट का इंटीग्रेशन करना चाहिए ताकि बच्चे को हम सही तरीके से जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं उसको विजुअलाइज करा पाए और उसको समझा पाए। तो ये टेक्नोलॉजीज का अपना इम्पोर्टेंस है और इस दिशा में भी कार्य चल रहा है। हम सभी विषयों में अपने स्टोरी बोर्ड्स और स्क्रिप्ट्स बना चुके हैं मैथ्स में, साइंस में, सोशल साइंस में, क्योंकि सही स्क्रिप्ट एंड सही स्टोरी बोर्ड के बाद ही हम इसको बनाते हैं, और ये कंटेंट बनाना इतना आसान नहीं है, बहुत कठिन है। इसमें एक टीम वर्क की आवश्यकता होती है, और जब सही टीम सही तरीके से कार्य करेगी तभी हम एक अच्छा क्वालिटी AR/VR कंटेंट बना सकते हैं। तो हम शिक्षकों को इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं बेसिकली स्क्रिप्ट और स्टोरी बोर्ड डेवलपमेंट में, जिससे वो विजुअलाइज कर सके कि उन्हें क्या चाहिए, और फिर हम आउटसोर्स कर सकते हैं
बिल्कुल
अपने टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनर्स को ये कंटेंट बिल्ड करने के लिए।
एब्सोल्युटली मैम, बिकॉज टेक्नो पेडागोजिकल इंटीग्रेशन के लिए टीचर्स का इन्वॉल्वमेंट बहुत जरूरी है, और वो समझकर फिर स्टूडेंट्स के लिए एक अमेजिंग कंटेंट तैयार करते हैं। हम देखते हैं कि दीक्षा पे हमारे कितने फोकस एरियाज भी हैं, वर्चुअल लैब, जी जादुई पिटारा, और उसका कंटेंट कैसे तैयार किया जाता है। मैम थैंक यू सो मच कि आपने NEP 2020 के बारे में बताया, और कैसे हम टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं, उसे अब्जॉर्ब कर रहे हैं, और लर्निंग आउटकम्स को एनहांस भी कर रहे हैं। ये तो रहा जो हम NCERT में कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अब ऑफ कोर्स गूगल के साथ जो हम कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं और एजुकेशनल टूल्स को हम यूज करना चाह रहे हैं, स्कूल हेड्स को हम इनकरेज कर रहे हैं वो यूज करें, तो इसके बारे में सोनिया मैम एंड हेमंत सर, मैं आपको एक ओपन प्लेटफॉर्म देती हूँ, थोड़ा सा आप इसको इनिशिएट करें और इंट्रोड्यूस करें और बताएं कि इसका रेलेवेंस क्या है और कैसे ये एक बहुत ही अच्छा रेवोल्यूशन लेकर आएगा व्हेन इट comes to making the effort seamless, and of course making the structure totally smooth when it comes to school education.
Excellent. Thank you, Harpreet ji. First off, a really warm welcome to everybody who's joined us, especially all the school leaders. Welcome to the Innovate and Lead series. It's the first episode. We're thrilled to have you, and we're also very excited to be partnering with NCERT in this initiative. The purpose of this session and this entire series is actually going to be to talk about how technology can enhance an educator and a school leader's experience, how we can bring about efficiencies in the system to ensure that not just the administrative process, but also the teaching and learning process becomes equally efficient and enjoyable for everybody. So we're thrilled to have you all with us. I'm going to pass it on to my colleague Sonia to talk a little bit about the session and the series.
Right. Thank you so much, Hemant, for that. And like Hemant said, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And before we get into what Google tools can truly support in the process of digital transformation, let's maybe start with a few tips that will come handy for all leaders, for all heads of the departments, educators that are working towards achieving some kind of digital transformation in their ecosystem. Right. So I think the first thing here is try it, get started, which basically here means that think of any one problem statement or concern that you're constantly working towards, one goal that you want to achieve, and you feel that, and and with these tools that we'll talk about in the next 7 days, that you feel will be supportive in addressing those challenges. It could be anything. It could be publishing timely newsletters, or drafting feedback for students, email communication with parents, lesson plans, worksheets. So a good combination of all of these issues that you're working on, think of all of those and elaborate it. Pick one that you feel is of utmost importance at this point and you want to start working on it. This training will introduce you to many tools like docs, sheets, slides, forms, classroom, Google's AI platform, which is Gemini. Use one tool at a time to build a robust understanding and match which tool works best with which challenge that you're trying to solve. And my next tip here would be to start small. Right, start with one tool at a time, learn it, practice it, and then move forward to the next one. Find what works best for your ecosystem. I will go back to what Indu ma'am just said, that don't implement technology because it needs to be implemented. Pick up tools that works best for your ecosystem. For example, if you're building a repository of feedback for students, and you want to have different kinds of feedback that are available for teachers to access to. This could be after assessing students, it could be during classroom discussions, it could be based on different learning levels. So if you're addressing something like this, Google Docs will come super handy for you, where it, and all Google tools are collaborative in nature. So when you create that, you give access to all your teachers to work on that, doc with you, and continue to develop it. Right. Or let's say you're working on rubrics for assessments for different kinds of activities throughout the year in different subjects. So I would suggest then you start working on, Google Sheets, and see how you can store and create like a good repository of rubrics that can be used by different teachers in different subjects. And we'll explore a lot of all this, in the coming sessions. Now, I've been a teacher. Something that I've told my students plenty of times is consistency. It's practice. Just how we tell them revise every day. Practice your content or the work that you're learning in school every day. I would suggest the same to our audience today as well. That continue practicing every day. Plan or dedicate 30 minutes in your calendar, dedicated to working with different kind of tools that you're exploring. And I would also request leaders to maybe also allow educators the same kind of time within their ecosystem, so that they have specific time assigned for practice. So that would be something that I would really I would highly recommend. And then don't be scared to make mistakes. A good thing about Google tools is a lot of mistakes that you do can be undone with the undo button, and which will be spoken about in the upcoming sessions. But there will also be times when you will be in a classroom and you want to show your students some work, and technology would not support you at that time. It is okay. It is okay to make mistakes, and you will see that students will become your biggest cheerleaders and biggest supporters in addressing those challenges and taking the session forward. Right? Create your own ecosystem, which is a brave space for all of your educators to come together, whether it's making mistakes or addressing those mistakes or just moving on. Right. And the next thing would be collaboration. Right. Like I'd mentioned, Google tools are collaborative in nature, but within your school ecosystem as well, think of how you want to take this opportunity of implementing digital tools and also create a collaborative ecosystem, wherein, let's say, we spoke about feedback in the beginning, like how can we create one Google Doc where you create a repository of all different kinds of feedbacks for students. Have that made accessible to all of your teachers. Take in their inputs through different features that exist, and let them come up with a better version of it every time that you have discussion. Maybe set up a circle time every week. We do this with kids so often. Maybe we can implement this with our ecosystem, with our teachers as well, where you learn, where you share your best practices, you share your challenges, and just attempt answering questions for each other. Right. With this, of course, something that is going to be very important when you start this series is have access to Google Workspace for education on your devices. These are your login details which you can get from your school. Many of you would already have these IDs given to you by your leaders, by your the leadership in the school. Get your username, password, and we will use that to do all of our upcoming sessions. So my end of this particular section would be in saying, like, have a checklist prepared for you. Start small. Think of one obstacle challenge that you're addressing. Have time slots on your calendar to practice every day, and ensure along with you your teachers, your pillars of strength also practice with you every day. So I think, Harpreet, with that would be the my tips, handy tips for all the leaders to take this forward.
Well, thank you so much for not just updating them, but also informing them the benefits that this tool offers and how they can help them to have the better administration at all levels. Now, I would also like to ask you that since it is for school principals, leaders, क्यों जरूरी है for them to learn technology today?
Right. I'll refer to जो इंदु मैम ने शुरू में बोला
जी
that technology is such an important part of NEP 2020 and बहुत एक बड़ा विजन है of implementing technology classrooms में या schools ecosystem में, चाहे वो आप access create कर रहे
जी
हैं, equitable access आप create कर रहे हैं,
हम्म
high quality learning access आप create कर रहे हैं, या फिर मैम ने एक चीज और बोली थी that data driven decisions और data driven efficiency
जी
वो डिजिटल के माध्यम से ही आएगा एंड
बिल्कुल
लीडर्स का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है उस प्रोसेस में
हम्म
जब वो स्टार्ट करते हैं ये प्रोसेस और एक एग्जांपल सेट करते हैं बाकी सब में के
हाँ जी
सामने इट बिकम्स लाइक एन इजियर अडॉप्शन प्रोसेस
एब्सोल्युटली आई थिंक उनको एक रोल मॉडल भी बनना है और
जी
एग्जाम्पल सेट करना है क्योंकि डेटा इज एसेट और हम जानते हैं कि डेटा का स्ट्रीमलाइन होना कितना जरूरी है हेमंत सर आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू कि एक प्रिंसिपल का जॉब कैसे चेंज हो रहा है बिकॉज टेक्नोलॉजी इज एवर इवॉल्विंग और स्कूल लेवल पर उनका काम बढ़ रहा है कम हो रहा है या फिर उनको कंटिन्यूसली अपडेट करना एक और स्ट्रेसफुल फैक्टर उनके लिए
अगर हम ट्रेडिशनल तरीके से देखें तो
जी
हमेशा ऐसा रहा है कि डे टू डे टास्क का मैनेजमेंट एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट रहा है प्रिंसिपल की जर्नी का। अब क्या है कि हम उसमें थोड़ा सा ट्वीक ये लेके आ सकते हैं विद टेक्नोलॉजी कि एक तो आपकी डे टू डे टास्क मैनेजमेंट की प्रोसेस को हम ज्यादा एफिशिएंट बना सकते हैं।
जी
But then the second more important bit is that the technology ka intervention also allows principals to take a step back,
हम्म
actually look at data both at a micro level and at a macro level, and be able to make data back decisions.
जी
What essentially also happens is that the principal's role evolves from just being an administrator to becoming almost like a trusted advisor to the system. They can look at the data from a day, a week, a
हम्म
month, a quarter, and a year, feed that data back to the department and say that these are the trends that we are seeing as principals,
राइट
right? And all of that can be made seamless with technology. Today, with the Google tools that we have and we offer to schools across the country and across the world, you've got access to data readily. You've got access to real-time learning data. You've got access to real-time operational data. Use all of that, make your process efficient. And yeah, again, like I said, we're just thrilled to be partnering with CIT and schools across the country in this process.
Well, of course, you are looking forward to many more explorations with you. And we all know कि हमारी country में, like we were talking, there is a rural-urban divide and there is a digital divide as well. अगर एक school leader खुद ही motivated या self-driven नहीं है खुद technology use करने में, how will they encourage teachers? But ये ज़रूरी है कि वही एक initiative लें. So, what do you think is the best way for a principal to go ahead and encourage the teachers to use technology? Because हर कोई उतने techno-friendly नहीं है आज भी, हर कोई इस background से भी नहीं आ रहा है. Plus ऑलरेडी जो इतना उन पर लोड है उसके अलावा ये भी उनको एक लोड लगता है कि अब यहाँ पर भी हमको कंटिन्यूसली खुद
जी
को अपडेट कर कर रखना है प्लस जिनको वो इन्फॉर्मेशन डिससेमिनेट करनी है आगे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनका भी ख्याल रखना है तो हाउ डू यू थिंक अ प्रिंसिपल शुड गो अबाउट इट
Yeah, thanks. And this is a very important question, right? Technology has to be an enabler. It can't be another add-on. It can't be another thing that's added onto your plate and becomes like another headache for you.
या
How you really have to see it is, first of all, asking yourself and asking, for example, the wider group this question, that why do we want to actually use technology? We want to use technology to make our teaching and learning process more efficient and make the lives of our students better, right? Now, once the end goal is set, what you have to see is which are areas where I can today start incorporating technology.
यस
Start small, but make sure that it's being done consistently and it is being measured consistently. If you're tracking that, you can keep enhancing things one step at a time, right? So maybe it starts as small as like setting up an email communication, right,
Yeah.
in the school and knowing that, okay, from now on, every official communication has to start on email, right? Then saying, okay, great, we've been communicating really efficiently. Now everything for the staff members is seamless. What can we now start doing for the students? So now the next obvious step is, okay, can we have an LMS which can make the teaching and learning process more efficient and gives visibility to data for the teachers, for the principals, and even for the students themselves.
True.
Right? So start small, take incremental steps, but be consistent and keep taking periodic step backs to also just celebrate the progress that you've made. It is a long journey, right? It is like a marathon, and we are with you in this process. But start small and just be consistent and keep sharing feedback with us on how Google can improve its tools, and we're just there to serve you.
Here in NCERT, we also conduct sessions on school leadership development where we invite school teachers from across the country. They share their challenges and how they overcame the situations. And sometimes even having one single laptop in a school is challenging.
Right.
Now, this training session I'll talk about, we have mentioned in the beginning, it is meant for the school heads of the country, but as our website says, it is also open for teachers, educators, curriculum planners, and general public. Now, when I host these sessions of school leadership development, I see that community participation also plays an equally important role. Since this training session is also open for general public, how do you see the role of society members, students, parents, teachers, and also, in interacting with school authorities and also helping them take a step forward, because eventually this is the need of the hour and it is going to be the future.
Right. Thank you for bringing that question up. In fact, at Google for Education community is very important to
Yeah.
us. हमारी खुद की एक बहुत बड़ी Google for Education community है जिनको हम Google Champions बोलते हैं,
जी
जो कि certified trainers, innovators, coaches हैं, GEG leaders हैं from across the country,
Yeah.
जो अपना समय निकालते हैं और sessions करते हैं continuously for other educators जो digital को adopt करना चाहते हैं. And at no charge, they don't charge
Wow.
for this. They're doing this because they want to support
Yeah.
each other, and that's the power of community. When you come together to inspire and encourage each other, आप एक ऐसी space बनाते हैं जहाँ
जी.
आप questions पूछ सकते हैं, एक दूसरे से सवाल जवाब कर सकते हैं और फिर अपने best practices classroom में लेके जा सकते हैं. I think it's a very strengthening module of implementing anything.
Absolutely. I think community participation ke bina, we can't imagine a school leader taking the lead. Also, because we are almost on the verge of ending this session, I want to ask you once again, kind of a message that please tell once again what exactly is the goal of this entire training program that we are having. Today is day 1 and we still have 7 more days to follow. क्या expect कर सकते हैं हमारे school leaders और हमारे viewers इस training session से?
राइट. आई थिंक गोल हम जब हम ये डिज़ाइन कर रहे थे, एक बहुत सिंपल गोल था कि बहुत लीडर्स हैं जो समझना चाहते हैं कि हम कहाँ से शुरुआत करें,
जी.
चाहे वो डिजिटल अडॉप्शन की है. हेमंत ने डेटा की बात की, हम कहाँ से डेटा कलेक्ट करना शुरू करें, उसको कहाँ पे हाउस किया जाए, उसका मतलब कैसे समझा जाए,
हाँ जी.
अपने इकोसिस्टम को कैसे हम पेपर बेस से एक बहुत ही एफिशिएंट मोड पे लेके जाया जाए जो कि डिजिटल है. सो व्हेन वी वर डिजाइनिंग दिस, एंड द फुल पर्पस ऑफ दिस सीरीज इज कि हम लीडर्स जो कि बेस्ट रोल मॉडल्स हैं इकोसिस्टम में, उनको कैसे सपोर्ट करें ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, ऑफ बिल्डिंग ऑन दिस विजन ऑफ NEP 2020, ऑफ यूटिलाइजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर एक्सेस एंड इनहैंसिंग टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेसेस. तो बेसिक गोल यही रहेगा.
लवली. इस बेसिक गोल के साथ हमने एक शुरुआत करी है. लेट्स सी कि आगे आप किस तरीके से हमें फॉलो करते हैं. वी रिक्वेस्ट योर पार्टिसिपेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर क्वेश्चंस. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स, प्लीज क्लियर देम. एंड वन फाइनल क्वेश्चन टू सोनिया मैम, आफ्टर दिस सेशन गेट्स ओवर, क्योंकि हम ओवर करने ही वाले हैं जल्दी, हाउ कैन पार्टिसिपेंट्स रिविजिट द कंटेंट?
Right. So ये जितने भी live sessions हैं, these will be available as a module. ये 8 days के जो भी sessions रहेंगे, they'll be available as a comprehensive module on Diksha platform, जहाँ पे participants can access it anytime.
Yes. When we started this session, in fact, सबके मन में doubt होता what exactly are we going to learn. But I think first day हमने इतनी बात कर ली कि अब हमें we have laid the groundwork. हमें पता है कि exactly what we are looking forward to. कैसे जो हमारा topic है digital leadership, school transformation strategies, day 1 का, वो क्या कहना चाह रहा है और किस तरीके से with the adoption of technology, with continuous professional development of teachers and school heads encouraging teachers to adopt the same, हम school leadership को change करेंगे, school administration को change करेंगे. Eventually इसका benefit मिलेगा हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को और हमारे कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स को एंड ऑफ कोर्स हमारे नेशन को. सो ये एक बहुत ही फ्रूटफुल सेशन रहा एंड आई थिंक आई कैन नाउ रैप इट अप हियर सेफली बिकॉज वी हैव टू कम बैक हियर टुमारो विद येट अनदर सेशन विद सम इनसाइट्स ऑन डे 2. और डे 2 में हम किस बारे में बात करेंगे, चलिए हम आपको इसकी क्लिपिंग ही दिखा देते हैं कि कल हम किस बारे में बात करेंगे. So we have this day 2 session which is all about unlocking leadership potential with AI. और किस तरीके से जब हम AI की बात करते हैं तो हमें पता है कि AI इज द नीड ऑफ द आवर. इसके बेनिफिट्स हैं, चैलेंजेस भी हैं, लेकिन उन चैलेंजेस को ओवरकम करते हुए कैसे हम इसे सक्सेसफुली इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं स्कूल करिकुलम में, उसका बेस्ट यूज कर सकते हैं. लेट्स सी. So that's what you are going to watch tomorrow. And before I say thank you to my experts, let me give them final opportunity to say something कुछ और आप कहना चाहते हैं which you must have left in the session. हाँ जी, बता सकते हैं आप.
Fantastic. Thank you for the final opportunity. No, but again, like I said, we're thrilled to be partnering with NCERT, with CIET in this in this series. Google's always open to feedback directly from schools and from CIET as well. The only request would be, it is going to be a complex journey. It's also an evolving journey. We're right at the start, right? You keep hearing new things about technology every single day. There are new additions, specifically in AI, every single day. Start small, stay consistent, and please do not worry about failures. We are there to pick you up in case you fail, and we'll make sure that we all see success together. So, thank you so much for your time and for making the commitment to really transform teaching and learning at scale by putting in personal effort. So, we're really grateful for the time that you've given to us. Sonia?
Right. I'll second that. Change is difficult, but consistency will help. So, and in this process of the next 7 sessions, please, join in with an open mind as to what digital can do for you, right? And take in those small steps and see how do you want to take this back to your ecosystem of solving your challenges. Pick things up which are of most importance to you.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to solve everything in one go, it's the best to, prioritize your concern. And like Hemant said, we are a part of this journey with you. Reach out to us for any feedback, that how better can we support you in this journey.
Absolutely, and that is why we are flashing our email IDs and telephone number continuously on the screen so that you can reach out to us during the session, after the session, through any medium you feel like. I must thank all my panelists today for this day one's session, which was on digital leadership, school transformation strategies under the umbrella theme of this online program titled Innovate and Lead School Transformation Strategies for School Leaders. We have culminated day one's session, and I must thank Professor Indu Kumar from CIET NCERT New Delhi, Ms. Sonia Mehra Agarwal, EDU Impact Lead at Google for Education, and Mr. Hemant Bhalla, Regional Manager for Google for Education India. Thank you so much for your time and contribution to the session. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, viewers, it's time for me to finally give you some more quick updates. चलिए बात करते हैं textbooks की, which are available on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website for grade 4 and 7. और साथ ही साथ मैं आपको बता दूं कि आप एक special program अभी देखेंगे on ozone in a short while from now here in the studio. So this is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you, and will join you soon. Namaskar.